Hello, I'm Heidi with Onigo Stamping, and welcome to my craft corner. I am really excited tonight because I'm going to be sharing with you a card using the Country Floral Lane. I always get the words mixed. Country Floral Lane Suite of products. Now, this isn't a supersize suite. It doesn't actually have two stamp sets and two dies and all that, but it does have two sets of pattern paper. And really these pattern papers, especially one of them that I'm going to show you, could be used with all sorts of other stamps too. So if you are here tonight and watching me live, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know what you're up to. Hello, Danelle. How are you? I was wondering, is it Danelle? Am I saying that right? You guys, it is so hard not to have verbal feedback to know about those things. So hopefully I am. And then if you are watching this on replay, because this will be available to watch later, if you're watching this on replay, welcome to you as well. I'm so glad you're here. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know that you watched the replay, because I love to know people watch the replay too. All right. Oh my goodness, everybody is jumping in, and Fonda and Heather and Nell, and welcome everyone. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and flip around my cameras before I get more distracted. All right, let's move this one over. What am I doing? All right, I want this one. Come here. There we go. Hello, Jude and Kimberly too. All right, so here is the Country Floral Lane Designer Series paper. And you can see, it's hard for me to even look at this paper on top of itself like this. But you can see that it has all these really great patterns, these florals. I don't have any full 12 by 12 pieces anymore because I've cut into it all. And then, of course, on the other side, you get patterns. So you got a stripe and another blue stripe, balmy blue stripe, and a balmy blue heart pattern, a petal pink heart pattern, another petal pink heart pattern, and then a sweet sorbet heart. So I love just the patterns on this. This makes me calmer. You can't wait for it to arrive. Well, I think you're going to love it. So this is one of the pattern papers. Now you did notice there's this right here. Let's keep this one out for a second, because this, let me show you the stamp set. This is the stamp set right here, which has these different hearts and these two floral hearts that go together, and then some sentiments and things. And it has a punch, just like that. And of course, this punch will punch those hearts that are on this page right here too. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't have a need for it, but they punch those right out. So that is cool. So we got a stamp set. We got a punch, we got a set of pattern paper, and then I told you there's two sets of pattern paper. All right, where'd my other one go? So the other one, I don't have a full set of this either, I don't think. I don't know, we'll see. The other one is the Country Gingham. Okay, so one side is balmy blue and mint macaron. I do not have these in any sort of order, and there's another balmy blue one. And another big balmy blue one. And they're all these ginghams, right? So just really cool ginghams. Let me see. Here's the other mint macaron. That is that same mint macaron. That's the same balmy blue. That's the same balmy blue. That's the same mint. There should be one more mint. There we go. All right. So 3 mints and 3 balmy blues. Okay. And then when we flip it over, if you haven't already seen, when we flip it over, on the other side, we have some sweet sorbet and petal pink. So we have 3 sweet sorbets and 3 petal pink ginghams too. And actually this one right here, I like this one. I wish they'd done a little bit more of this. It actually has petal pink and sweet sorbet in it, but it's not gonna focus well, so you can see that. Anyway, so that is pack number 2 that comes with it. And then there is a gingham, or a double roll of ribbon with a crumb cake and a red. I wish this was closer to a sweet sorbet, but it's okay. It's a red, it matches, it works. And there are sequins. So, and again, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Like the gold makes sense. It matches the crumb cake. The blue matches the balmy blue. This pink, and there is some of this pink in there. It is actually more of a blushing bride. And there is some blushing bride in the paper. But as I showed you, most of the paper is petal pink. And the blushing bride, I don't know, petal pink and blushing bride together is not my favorite. So, but anyway, some people probably like it. All right, let's get started on a card. So I have a petal pink card base. This is an 8.5 by 5.5. And somebody over on Facebook told me they can't wait for their papers to arrive, to open all their papers. Yeah, I know. I'm working on the product shares right now. They came in earlier this week, and it just takes me time to get them all sorted out and cut and labeled and packaged. I'm hoping to get those all kind of worked out this weekend and get them out next week. It's you, Karen. All right. Well, hi, Karen. So hopefully those will come in next week. And I'll get those all ready next week. I did forget to order 1 pack of paper. So some of them are going to go out later next week, and then some of them are going to go out earlier next week. So, all right, I have a piece of the Country Floral Lane Designer Series paper. This is 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and I have a piece of Mossy Meadow. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch. And I'm just going to adhere these together. Super easy. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this and put this on my card base. I love this paper. This card, I'm not sure does this paper the justice it deserves, because I really like this paper, and I don't think I've quite made the card that is perfect for it. You love the beautiful green. It really is a beautiful green. Aloha, Pam. Welcome. And I got to put new blade in my paper trimmer. Gonna do that before I start cutting paper, huh? All right. So put that on our card front. It's ready to go. Now I have another little piece of the gingham paper and another piece of the green. The gingham paper is 2 1/4 inches by 3 1/2 inches. And the green is 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. I gotta do math in my head, which I don't like. Normally I just use my paper trimmer and I just move up 1/8 of an inch. You love the colors together, Heather? Me too. I think they're just perfect. And hello, Lena, welcome. All right. So we have that, and that is eventually going to go on there, but we're going to do some other things first. So let's do some stamping. I have some scraps of basic white, and I found out these scraps are just about the right size. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this heart. Now, what is interesting with this heart is it comes with 2 of them on the same stamp, and that way it matches the punch perfectly. So you can see it's going to line up. Well, it's going to be upside down. It's going to line up with that punch perfectly, just like that. So I'm just going to stamp these both at once. Hello, Janet from Nebraska. So I'm going to ink this up with some Sweet Sorbet. I'm just going to stamp it down here. And I'm going to go ahead and just roll it around. I want a couple more, so I'm going to go ahead and just spin it and stamp it down here. There's my hearts. And I do want some leaves with this too, because this kind of makes like a heart flower. Now you could very easily, you could stamp that all. You could set up, you could create like a, what do I want to say? I want to say jig. I don't know why the word jig comes to my head. That's like a woodworking term, right? But a template for yourself. You could, what I have done before is I will punch this out of a piece of thick basic white, and then I can line up my stamps in those holes so I can punch it all at once. But I decided I didn't want to deal with that. So I'm just going to stamp the leaves separately and punch them separately. Sometimes that is just as easy. So I'm going to just ink up my leaves with some Mossy Meadow and just stamp them on another piece of white. I'll set my Mossy Meadow aside. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my punch. I'm just going to slide out. I got them upside down, but that's okay. I'm going to slide my leaves in there. And I always punch upside down so you can see where you're punching. And just give them a punch. Save out my leaves. Take out the little bits. And then we're going to punch my hearts out too. So these are going to slide in here. And you can see I punched them the right way so I can just slide them into my punch. So there we go. Punch those. I flip it around, do the same thing. I love punches. They're so great. They're so quick and easy. Hello, Cindy from Western Nebraska. We got Nebraska in the house tonight. All right, so there are some sweet sorbet hearts. Set those all there. And then I have a piece, another scrap. There's a lot of scraps. This used up some scraps of white for me tonight. So I have another scrap of white here. It is, let me see if I remember, 1 inch by, I think I cut it 2.5. We'll see if that's the right length. And I'm going to grab the sentiment that says, I love that we are friends. So there's a lot of different sentiments in here. There's for you, I love you, with love, happy Valentine's Day, just wanted to say. And then this one that says, I love that we are friends, which I love because it's great. You know, sometimes you just want to send a Valentine's Day card to your friend because sometimes the guys just don't appreciate your handmade cards. So it's nice to be able to send a Valentine's card maybe to somebody that is a little happier to receive it. All right, I'm just going to stamp this in the center. I probably should have done the punching I want to do first, but I'm going to stamp that in the center in Mossy Meadow. And then I have the punch. Oh, and I don't remember this name of this. If this is the pick a label or another punch, it's one of our label punches. I don't remember. I'm so bad with the names. Isn't it a cute set, Cindy? All right, so I'm going to slide this in and get it in there. And it is going to go in pretty far. See, not in there yet. There we go. So now it's all the way down there. I'm going to just make sure that it is lined up and square with that. And then we'll go ahead and punch it. And that's going to punch out that end. And then I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing on the other side, if I can. This is a little bit hard because the piece gets pretty small. I'm going to slide that in there. And then it's not quite lined up straight. So I'm just taking my take your pick tool and getting it in the right spot. Because sometimes, see how it gets so far down that it's not in those lines to line it up yet. So just kind of, you know, do your best and then take your pick tool and just slide it into place so it's nice and even. And then hopefully we can get it out. Another good reason to have your take your pick tool around. There we go. All right. So there is our little label we made that says, I love that we are friends. And now we can start putting our card together. This is the side's just a little bumpy, so I'm just taking my fingernail over it. So I'm going to take this piece again. Remember this piece? Remember this piece? We're going to bring this piece in again. I'm going to bring in some of that crumb cake ribbon. And I just want to take this and put it across the bottom of my piece. So I'm just going to, and we're going to tape it on the back. So I'm just going to kind of pull it out just long enough so that I can tape it. You use the putty side of yours. That's smart. All right. And then I'm going to grab some Scotch tape. I'm just going to tape the first end and then I'll put this on, make sure I got it straight-ish. Hold that down and maybe get another piece of Scotch tape and put that on the other end. And that's just going to give us a flat ribbon on there. All right. Hello from Michigan to Michigan. All right, so now I want to put on some leaves and I want these, because I'm going to pop this up. So I want the leaves to kind of already be stuck to the flower just a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on just one little side. go. And then we'll take those and just kind of slide them on there. Got a little bit too much of adhesive. Do this one too. And that's just going to make our flower. Okay. And then I want to put this flower on with some dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some dimensionals. That just tacked it in place. The dimensionals are also going to help hold those leaves in the right spot. So pop those dimensionals on, and I have sticky on my fingers. Used a sticky note. Yep. You definitely can use a sticky note too. This collection is great. It's a fabulous collection. And the hearts are too cute. I agree. All right, so I'm just going to slide this in. And I want it to go off the edge just a little bit, just like that. And I'm going to grab, so when I did this on my sample, I used some, reminds me of dishes from, it kind of does, doesn't it? I used some linen thread, but I think I want to use twine. I want it to be just a little bit bigger. Use some twine. So I'm cutting off a piece of twine. I am going to go ahead and take this apart. You guys, if you've been watching me, you know how I love to do this. I love to pull my twine apart. So just getting it started at one end. Give it a pull. Let's go ahead and pull out 2 of them. So, all right, there's our two twines. I'm going to try to get them kind of lined up back again. And I'm just going to slide them under this piece of ribbon. And then we're going to tie them. And hopefully this ends up in the spot that I want it. All right. Now when I'm tying, hey, you guys want to learn some tying tricks? Let's talk about this for a second. So hopefully maybe you guys can see this. Let's talk about this. I've tied the first knot, right? Not knot. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, can you see how this is kind of coming out one side? It's coming out the bottom here, and this is kind of coming out the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this way, and then I can come around the bottom. Now, if it were the other way, if I wanted to do this the other way, if I were left-handed, I would go ahead and I would make my loop this way, and because this one's coming out the top, I would wrap it around the top. So you want to keep it going in the same direction, if that makes sense. So this one, my strings are coming out the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and go around the bottom and then pull it through. And that's just going to help you kind of get more of a square bow instead of crooked. Although sometimes, you know, I like a crooked bow. And actually, I'm going to kind of turn this sideways just a little bit. So there's my bow, and I always, you know, I like to pull the loops 2 different lengths to kind of make it a little bigger. So there we go. Now let's add in some more hearts. I'm going to add this one in underneath. Put a little bit of green glue on there. You love the trick with the twine? Me too. And I just like how rustic the twine looks. It's great for this set, I think. So we'll slide those in there. And then we're going to put our sentiment up here. Okay, I'm going to kind of turn this just a little bit. I want those loops to show. So our sentiment is going to come in up here. Let's pull these in. Go. And I'm going to put this on some dimensionals too. But I want to just put dimensionals over here because this side has this big knot. So we're going to go ahead and put full-size dimensional over here. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Oh my goodness, earthquake. Your bows are awful and the tips help. Well, I hope the tips help. Really, bow tying just takes a lot of practice, I think. All right. So just adding in some dimensionals, and I do want to pop one little mini. I'm going to put a mini up here, and then I'm going to check my dimensionals, make sure that I missed that big knot in there, and I think I did. Go ahead and put these down. Pull the backs off. You feel the same way about yours, Heather? Kimberly, I know. I think like everyone feels that way. All right, so we're just going to put that on there. And then I want to actually go ahead and I'm going to grab one more little heart and we're going to try to put it in here if I can. I'm just going to put a little mini on one. I don't know, are those lobes? I'm not good with terminology on anything, apparently. We'll put a little bit of green glue over there. Let's put this little heart right here, just as a kind of bonus one. It's kind of stuck on there. It's kind of wonky. There's a pretty big bump under there, but anyway. And then this is going to go on our card front. So we're going to go ahead and put some more green glue on here. And now our card is going to be done. Look at this. We're going to bring in our card front, pop this on. And there we go. We're going to trim up the ends of my twine in just a second. I'm just going to hold this because that twine is on there. It's got just a little bit of thickness. So I'm just holding down that centerpiece just to hold it until it tacks into place. And that's just going to help it glue a little bit better. Once it's stuck, then it's fine, but sometimes it just needs a little help sticking down. All right, let's go ahead and snip off my ends. And then of course, you guys, I got a couple more samples to show you. There we go. Oh, you know what? Let's add some sequins on here. Shall we? Shall we add some sequins? Let's try. I didn't do it on the sample, but I feel like I want to put some on here. I think I'm going to try the gold ones. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool that went somewhere. It's turned into chaos over on my desk. So let's grab a big sequin. It's not playing nicely with me today. All right, where do we want this? How about right there? And we'll grab a small one. Do a small one right there. Let's grab another small one. And let's put another small one. I don't know. Maybe here. There we go. How's that? What do you think? You guys like the card? Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Deborah. You're wishing you bought this suite? Well, there's time. All right, so there we go. There is our cute card. And I got some more samples to show you, so don't go anywhere. There is one. Let me set that one aside. And then I have one that is blue. So here's my blue one with that bicycle paper. I wish we had a bicycle stamp again, but cute bicycle paper. And just very simple with a little sentiment on there. Super simple card. And then if you were with me on, what day was that? If you were with me on Tuesday and you saw that card design that I shared on Tuesday, I decided to make another one of those with this stamp set too. So there is that one. And this one I just stamped a bunch of hearts and then punched a couple out and just kind of filled in the whole thing. So really fun. And I realized I used the same sentiment on all of these. But I really like that sentiment. What can I say? What can I say? So those are my 3 cards for tonight. Now, don't worry. If you want more ideas using this suite of products, you are in luck because I'm going to be sharing more ideas at the end of January, on January 24th, during the online card class. So registration has already closed for the card kit. But I am going to go ahead and put the tutorials up. If you just want the tutorial bundle, those will be up probably a day before the card class or so. So those will be up there for you as well if you want to go ahead and grab those. But this will be used for my online card class coming up at the end of January, January 24th. So I hope you'll join me again then. And thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I will see you back next week, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing fun fold cards next week. So I am excited about it. I hope you are too. And I will see you guys next week, Tuesday. Have a great night.